Okay, everybody, it's Sue Ann Okerwall again, and I'm doing phase 3 of A Course in Miracles. I like to do Course in Miracles videos, and today I think I'm just going to sort of walk around. I'm outside. It's a little bit hot out here, not too bad though. Here is a pretty tree for the background. Anyway, so, and my arm is the selfie stick, right? Anyway, so I'd already gone through the 3 phases of the course that a lot of people seem to go through. Number 1 is when you get the course and you don't know what it's saying because it is written in quite difficult, like as if hidden way of expressing itself, of its meaning. And then later you can get a tool that will, or several tools that will allow you to be able to understand the metaphysical principles that it's putting forth. And then you take time to align your beliefs with them. So now the one thing I'm going to say that's very interesting is like, okay, God does not have beliefs. Beliefs change, right? And we all have noticed that we may have beliefs that change throughout our life. So if you were to say that God had beliefs, then he would be a changing entity. But what we know is it's a description. God as a description, or as a descriptor, would be pure love, unchanging. There's no next thing. There's no second thing. It has no opposites. So it is completely, purely innocent because literally nothing has ever happened. So in knowing that, we would say that in phase 2, if we're aligning our beliefs with something, well, then those can change. And we literally have changed our belief from what we had believed before to then understanding and then believing what the Course is saying. I'm going to go sit back down here. Anyway, and then, so phase 3 is when you have realized all that. And by gaining this knowledge, you now are like ahead of the game, except that you don't really feel any different. You've had different aha moments. You're happy and glad that you found the Course. You found other people typically that you can be happy with. There can be groups. You've been through a lot of different things with all of that, and yet you don't have this deep abiding peace that no matter what happens in your life, that you are like above the fray. You're above the battleground or battlefield, as they say in the Course. But you don't feel that yet. So here, let me switch my hands. Anyway, so what phase 3 is about is where you literally kind of put down all of the books and the teachers, and you just go into your mind and you begin to do what is the forgiveness process that is discussed on page 401 of the workbook called What is Forgiveness? So in the forgiveness, it talks about you're going to be looking and waiting and judging not. So what are you looking at? So the first thing you think you're looking at in phase 3 is you're looking at your life and your body and your personality and all the things that are in your life situation. And you're constantly hit with thoughts and emotions to do with all that's going on. Happy ones, sad ones, frustrated ones, angry ones. Do I have to go through all the lists? No, not really. We all know all these different emotions that are hitting us like waves and throwing us back and forth like in a tumultuous sea of thoughts and emotions. So as that's all going on, so now you've got the issue that like you read the Course and there's a lot of beautiful lines in there, but you notice that you're not feeling the things that it's saying. So I often say that the Course at first is to be looked at and realize that you don't believe anything it's saying, and not to be used as like a spiritual bypass, to just use them as affirmations and say, okay, I'm already done. I'm already innocent. There is no learning. There's already oneness, whatever you would pick out of the book. Well, then you've basically not read a lot of it or haven't paid attention to a lot of it, because most of it is actually trying to show us what the ego is, so we can notice what our thought system is. So in phase 3, we're going to be really learning what our thought system is. So when we begin to look at these emotions, First, like I said, we think it's all these problems that are out there. It's the flat tire, it's the spoiled milk, it's nobody went and got more milk, don't they ever think of me, on and on and on and on. And these are, like I said, very simple kinds of things that happen through the day. These are what we use. They don't have to be, a death in the family, a divorce, a birth, a new job. It doesn't have to be the big things even. It's all the little things every moment. So as we're beginning to look at all that, at first, like I said, it will seem as if all that is out in front of us. We don't even know. We just think that is what normal day life is. Pretty soon we begin to notice that it's really our thoughts and emotions that are about the things that seem to be happening to the body. I broke my toe. I can't breathe as much as well as I used to do. I want to, play tennis. I talk about body things. I'm hungry, on and on and on, right? Okay. So then we begin to realize it's really that what's going on is a mind that is thinking about all these thoughts and emotions of what seems to be going on. So that's as we gradually reel our mind back in to its source. And what we're going to be finding is the decision maker is what the Course calls it. Ken Wapnick coined it, the decision-making mind. And I really like David Hoffmeister, how he had talked about reeling your mind back in. I almost like, you've cast a line out there and catching fish and you're reeling in. Okay, so that's what seems to happen. Pretty soon you realize it's in your mind, and then you realize that even behind the mind is this thing that has been looking. And so that's what I talk about like all the time at this current point in, posting on Course in Miracles pages. And if you ever notice, I don't really have my own page. I just post on everybody else's pages. So, and one day I'll get into like why that is that way and the genius of that, like that, how that helps so much. But anyway, so in this phase 3, it's very humbling because we're really just looking at what is going on inside our mind. And we're really not reacting or talking with the people that are around us. So we begin to realize that all the reacting and talking with the people around us, like that has happened, but now we're looking at our feelings and thoughts about having talked and reacted with the people that are around us, and our own self-talk, on all of this kind of thing. So I'll probably do another video about how that moves into understanding that there is a you that's been watching, that is your real mind, the right mind, and all this other has been the wrong mind, and how it is not even you at all. It is a story playing, through the script is written, which is right there in the workbook of A Course in Miracles, and how that all plays into it, that literally we find out that we're not even making any decisions here, that everything is already on a story that has already been completely filmed. So this also allows us to find reality, which is completely alive, creating effortlessly and restfully and peacefully and joyfully at all times. But anyway, this was a little shorter than the other ones, but I think I'm going to end it there. So y'all have a great night.